Greetings, Horde Master. This video is going to be the best base build ever. Well, maybe the best Horde base ever. Alright, maybe the best Horde base ever in any of my videos. Maybe that's closer to the truth. But it's still going to be pretty okay. The base is using the combination of a simple fall trap with shotgun turrets at the bottom and electric fences. And at the top, it's going to have walls, towers, blade traps, dart traps, fences and shotgun turrets. And this, what you can see, is the complete build. Well, complete except for that it's actually not complete at all. Actually, just one part of it is completed just so you can see how it looks. But I couldn't just do everything off camera, right? So we're going to go through how to build this, and let's start with the ground preparation. Now, you could just leave everything as dirt. The problem with dirt is that even though it's dirt cheap, it's not very resistant to blasts. A problem when you have a horde base is that you'll have probably radiated cops and they explode and they will take out big chunks of dirt. Using concrete is really good because it has a lot of health points, but it's pretty expensive to pave this whole part with concrete. So early on, using sod is very easy because you can craft it very easily and it resists blasts very well. So that's what I'm doing outside here. Having 4, 5, 6, whatever layers of that makes it very safe for blasts. Now to lay out the base, we are going to do it 6 wide. So it's a 6 wide wall with towers on the side. And if you've been watching my previous videos, you probably have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to be building here. So I will go through it, and you start up with having 2 blocks on the side here. So you see this is where I have my fall trap, which is basically 6 by 6. And you go out here and you do 2 here. Then you put 2 here and you put 2 here. I will be using ramps for the corners just to make it look a little bit better and a little bit less blocky. See if I can get these ones in. Alright. And this is actually going to be 5 high as well. So I'm going to build up 5 high and then we'll continue. Okay, the tower is now done 5 high. Outside here on the side, we are going to be putting in place ramps. And the reason we put ramps is that I'm going to put blade traps here, and I'll show that on the other side, but it's going to be 6 wide here as well, is that if you don't put ramps, zombies will basically be coming on the head level and they'll start bashing it. And the problem with that is that the blade traps take damage when they damage the zombies, but it can take a lot of damage if they're getting punched as well. So instead, by having the ramps here, it causes the zombies to walk up, and of course they can't be attacking them here because it's upwards. But when they step up here, you see what happens, right? The blade is literally head level and they will take off their heads quite often and they'll do a lot of damage. So that really helps. So that's what we do. And in front of here we have poles. So we're going to put down some poles here, and let me switch those around. So we're going to put down 1 layer of pole here, and it shouldn't be there. Let me take that one out quickly. And on top of that, we will be putting another layer. And on top of that, yet another one. So we will be having 3 layers of poles. That works pretty well. So beyond just having the 3 layers vertically of poles, we'll also be doubling them up into 2 layers like this, but only on the top and the bottom. And you also have to make sure that you leave this block free because we're going to do something else here. So for these ones in the middle, and that shows that this one should not be here either, you put in dual. And that helps to keep you safer because they actually have to take out multiple of these ones to get through. If they take out this middle one, they still cannot get through because, well, the zombies are a little bit higher, a little bit taller than the gap between here and this one. So that's pretty convenient to know. Of course, if they take out this one, dogs can get through, and I think crawlers can as well, but then they'll just fall down, so that shouldn't be a major issue, but most of the zombies will get stuck here. So why do we leave this one open? Well, this is where we're going to put down a plate. And why do we need a plate? Well, because we need this space behind, so we cannot fill that up. If I put something here, I would fill up the space, and that would cause a problem later on when we put in the trip bars because we wouldn't have any space for it. And space is already pretty tight. So we're going to put in these ones here. right above, too high, we're going to be putting in the iron fences. Iron fences are reasonably tough. I mean, they do have 2,500 health points, which is, of course, is less than the 6,000 from the reinforced concrete. But we're going to put the dart traps and the shotgun turrets behind, so we need something that they can shoot through. So that's basically why we're using the iron bars. I wish you could have a way to upgrade them to steel bars or something, but unfortunately we can't do that. Now you're noticing that I'm building all this out of reinforced concrete. Concrete works pretty okay, but for later hordes, you definitely want to make sure that any blocks that is in the pathway of the zombies, that you upgrade them to steel. So that basically means that this one should be steel, these walls should also be steel, the poles, you want to make them into steel as well, because that way you maximize your survivability, because they will take a fair bit of damage. The towers don't generally take tons of damage unless you stand on top of them, which you shouldn't be doing because you'll be standing in the middle or up here. But it's still good to upgrade them because it just helps to keep your base safe longer. Because there are times that they will be getting stuck outside, and having it all steeled up, you don't have to steel up all the way up. Having the top 2 or 3 is generally enough. But that just keeps the zombies from breaking through, even if they get stuck somewhere and don't sort of run in the middle. Definitely the poles you want to make sure you're steeling up, because that just gives a lot more health points that will keep you safer. Okay, so now we have the poles up, we have the tower up. We're going to be putting some ramps here, and these are going to basically go all the way across to the opposite side. So why do you have these ones? Well, they look pretty good, but the main reason is that you need somewhere to attach the blade traps, and this will show you why we're actually doing it 6 wide, which is to fit in 1 blade trap here and 1 blade trap here, because they cover a 3x3 area each. So having 6 wide is perfect. You could do it 9 wide, but that causes some other problems with, you have to have the fall trap deeper. You probably have to make sure you are having enough space and distance to wire everything up. So it makes it a little bit trickier. It works, but it's just trickier. And now we get to part of the fun things, which is putting in all the traps. So you're going to notice we're going to put in 2 blade traps per side. We're also going to be putting in 2 shotgun turrets per side per tower, which basically, because we have 2 towers on side, it means that we have 1 firing across from here, and we're going to have, well, you'll see here that we have another one that is firing across here. So we have dual shotgun turrets. We're going to have dual dart traps as well, and each side is also going to have dual electric fences. And the reason I put down 4 here is because 2 of them are going to go across to there and 2 are going to go across to here, and that requires us to have 4. I will be putting in some tripwires as well, which will be controlling the dart trap and 1 layer of the electric fences. Now there's no space to put in enough tripwires to control all the traps, so we're just going to control half of them with the tripwire, and half of them is going to be on the switch, including the shotgun turret. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So that's the basic, and let's start wiring them up. Now, wiring things up, let me get the helmet on. All right. Wiring things up, and you see I have, let's get this out of the way. So you have 2 shotgun turrets here, 2 dart traps, the same here, just like I have over here, just it's not painted. So wiring things up is a little bit tricky at times, so I'll try to explain what I'm doing here. So let's start off what is going to be controlled by the tripwire. So I'm going to connect from the generator and down to this tripwire. Right. So it's connected directly. This tripwire goes across the poles to this tripwire. Right. So if something trips it, you get power here. You then connect this one to the electric fence next to it. This electric fence goes back across to this one. Right. So if something trips here, they get electrocuted. So that works pretty well, and there's not a lot of passive draw because you only get from the tripwire. Now you want to connect this dart trap as well at the same time, and you just take that from this one. Done. So when it's tripped, this dart trap also fires, and you do that same thing from here, taking it from the electric fence to this dart trap. Done. So now the passive draw is there, and if something walks, and let me do that. before I put in the darts, because that's a lot more painful. So if I walk here, you get electrocuted. And if I had darts, they would be firing as well, and I would be taking a lot more damage. And because the dart traps are at head level, that can also give you extra headshot damage. Now for the other electric fences and the shotgun turrets, I put in some switches here because I want to be able to switch it on and off. It means that during normal operation during the week, you can turn off probably the shotgun turrets because you don't want to waste the ammunition, and just have the dart trap and the one layer of electric fences take care of the zombies. The blade traps is also going to be running from the switch. So we'll do from the switch. And actually, let's get up here and open up here. And that's another reason I put hatches here, so I can connect things easier. So from the switch, open up and connect here. So if I switch on, you see this one go. Right, and that's what we wanted. And we also go from the switch down to this shotgun turret. Remember, this is the shotgun turret that is covering across from here, right? So that's important. Then we do from the switch again, and we go to the other one. So we go to this electric fence. So this is going to be the electric fence that is going to be active when you have the switch on. So this one goes across here over to this one. And you notice how I've done it in diagonal. So this one and this one goes this way, which means this one and this one will go that way, right? If you do both on the same side, obviously you're going to have a bit of a problem doing that. So you want to connect the shotgun turrets, which is easy. You do that from this one up here, right? So now, if I turn on the switch, you will see that this electric fence, let's see if I do that, this electric fence is powered. This shotgun turret is powered, this one is not. And if I go over here, you see this shotgun turret is also powered, and this electric fence is powered. And of course, you can see that the blade traps are powered. So that's basically how you connect things, right? So all the ways of connecting things is exactly the same. Of course, it's going to be maybe reversed because you're pulling it out this way, right? So if you have any problems connecting it, just take it one step at a time and slowly connect it across, right? So switch goes to the blade traps. It also goes to one electric fence, which goes to the shotgun turrets. And the other one goes directly from the generator down to the tripwire. Tripwire goes across. Tripwire goes to the electric fence, which goes to one dart trap. Electric fence goes back across, and it goes to another dart trap, right? So it looks a little bit complicated, but once you start getting it, it's pretty simple. There is a bit of a challenge if something breaks during a horde. It can be a little bit tricky to get things up and running again because you're going to be stressed out by all the zombies coming and attacking, and then you still have to go and rewire things. So hopefully that doesn't happen for you. So with these things connected, you basically have the whole base done. I mean, you have the basic building done. You have all the traps hooked up. But there are some additional defense designs that I have put in place. So you're going to see here, above the blade traps, I have put iron bars. I've also put some hatches. So the hatches allows you to repair through, which can be helpful because they will take damage and so you don't have to go down. It's actually a little bit funny because you can actually target through here sometimes through the actual hatch, even if it's closed. But anyway, so you can walk here, and of course, since you can walk here, you can actually also shoot down, right? So if you want to shoot something below, you can do that. I also have dual iron bars on top. That will prevent the cops, for instance, to spit at you and do damage. So that's pretty convenient. Of course, you can shoot through as well with your usual sniper rifle or maybe with your exploding bolts. Right. I have a ladder up here with a hatch, of course, so that if they break through, they don't just run up here. I have access to the shotgun turrets through here and even the dart trap, which is convenient. I have the switches, just one switch that will control this way and one switch that will control across from that side. Now I'll do the same on that side as well. On the tower, you want to make sure you don't stand on the tower too much. It's okay to do when you need to run past and everything, but if you stand up here, the zombies are going to be, and let me show, they're going to be running down and going to be here and bashing on the walls. And of course, that's not what you want because there are no traps. There's no defenses here pretty much. So to run here briefly, you can do it, but avoid standing here too much, right? One thing that I thought about was that, well, what if you have something stuck there, right? If you're standing, let's see, over here, it's very easy to attack something that is sort of behind the tower. So what I did instead is that I put the ramps here, so you can actually walk up here and you can shoot down, right, to clear something, right? So that can be pretty convenient way to clear up if you have something which is really standing at the worst angle here. But again, you don't want to stand here too much anyway, right? Now coming to one step behind, so this is where I have even more iron bars, which is obviously to keep you from falling down into your own fall trap. If you fall down here yourself, you will die. And of course, we want to avoid dying. So I just put a ramp up, additional strength, and then I have the iron bars here. Beyond this one, I have the center cage. If you remember from the fall trap video, I had a center area just so that if they run here, they don't just keep running and hit the other wall. So that they run in, get stopped here, and then fall straight down. But I figured, why not use this sort of as a kill cage? And of course, not a kill cage for yourself. You want to shoot out at the zombies. So putting iron bars means that you can fight from behind, but they can't really attack you. And you can stand here with your sniper rifle and you get a very good visibility across as they come running in. You also have, of course, a way to get in and out. And if they do break through here, you can actually still stand here and just shoot down and headshot whatever is downstairs. And at the same time as you're defending out here. So it's pretty convenient. So let's get up here. And of course, you have all these iron bars. If you need to go and repair something, you can do that. And you can even shoot from here without any major issue. And make sure you put a hatch here. That's very convenient. So you can actually go up and down. When you're running down here, it's a little bit tricky because if there are zombies out here that are standing, they can attack you. So you don't want to be running here too much. It can be useful if you need to repair something. If you need to maybe repair the blade trap, or you want to go down here if something has gone wrong. But you probably want to avoid running around here during the whole night because it's easy for you to fall down. If you fall down, you're not going to survive. So once you closed everything off, how do you get in and out? So what I did is I put another hatch here because I want to be able to get down as well. So I put a hatch here, which has a tunnel that leads out of the base. And I want to put it, obviously some 30 blocks out. Of course, you can put it further if you want to. You don't want to have too close, but you want to have it at a reasonable distance. So I can come out here and go in and out of the base. Let's close that up. And it also gives me convenient access to go down into the fall trap. Now, if the zombies break through, you can either stand at the top or you can run down here. It's probably better to stand at the top, but you can still go to run down here once in a while just to clear and loot things that fall down, all the corpses. And of course, making sure that things are working, making sure that you have things enabled, making sure that your generator has enough gas. If it doesn't, of course, you run into some problems because if there's no electric fences, if the shotgun turrets are not operational, they will not be shooting and destroying the zombies that fall down. So as a few closing thoughts, make sure you always have the shotgun turrets and the dart traps filled up. If you don't, then you're going to miss out on a lot of damage that can help you survive the horde. Again, having a sniper rifle here is really powerful. You can also have your exploding bolts, which are really good against radiated cops, just to clear things out. You probably don't want to be throwing Molotovs here because it will hit here and then you'll be burning yourself alive. So that's pretty dumb to do that. I will be fighting through a whole Blood Moon Horde in this base as well, and I'll be publishing that at the same time, but I'll be doing a sneak peek just here as well, just to see some of the highlights of it. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and do discuss below. Maybe you have some awesome horde base builds that you'd like to share, maybe some tricks how to make everyone's bases even better. So do share in the comment section, and I will catch you tonight.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link below.